Do you like women's sports? Sports across the gender spectrum? How about you're sick of men's sports? Well, that's what we're here to talk about.
On this show, we work to level the sports coverage across the gender spectrum.
Welcome to Balance Sports.
I'm Hunter.
I'm Jewelz.
Let's get into it.
I was sad.
Yeah.
I was really sad. Seeing Sue play was one of my goals when we moved out here. I was like, okay, gonna go to a WNBA game. Really want to see Sue Bird playing. And then when she announced, it was like, oh man, I only have 9 opportunities to see her, which is a lot. And but it was just like, damn, like that's it. Yeah, just sad. Happy for her. That's such a huge decision to make. It makes sense. I felt a little sad for her in that it was, she said something to the effect of like, as the season was going, I was like, and you were like, this ain't it.
I know. I felt that.
Yeah. What about you? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't feel like we knew, but when she said, there was a quote that was something like, your body, she was like, I was on JJ's podcast, that whole little reference where it was like, and I can't do things I want to anymore. And I play the game in a different way, but you know, I'm realizing that. And I played the game differently. I was just, it was like a happy sad. I was like, good for her for realizing that. And I also just appreciated hearing from like a top level athlete. Like I did different things to have this longevity, but like the body still gets older, but the body. And she's done better than anyone to keeping her body in shape. And just, I liked the truth of that. Just like, and I can't do the things I did now, or I play the game a different way. And,
Yeah.
and then also I think it was really cool I knew that she'd always played in Seattle, but then a lot of things came out because of this, how many years and all the things she's done. She's never came off the bench.
Right?
I thought that was it makes a lot of sense. I was like, Diana probably has never.
Yeah.
But that just a crazy
either you're injured
statistic.
and you're not playing, or you're playing.
Yeah.
Like, that's how this goes.
I know. I was kind of like, she never came off the bench. She was always good enough to be a starter. And I think there was a stat that was like, for 18 years, she's been top 3 in the league in assists or something crazy where I was like, yeah, don't retire. Do another year. But she said, don't chant that again. It was good. And I also thought there was a lot of people on that Zoom.
Lots of people on the Zoom, I believe. 51.
A lot of colleagues. Fox Sports, CNN, our colleagues.
Those old friends. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal that she's retiring. Let's get into around the league, and let's start with some scores. We had Tuesdays and Wednesday games. The Mystics beat the Mercury 83-65. The Storm beat the Lynx 81-79. The Vegas Aces beat the Wings 92-84. The Sun beat the Dream 105-92. And the Mercury beat the Fever 93-80. In our pick'ems, I was 5-0. You were 4-1.
Great week.
Really great week for us. Really great week.
Were any of those games or scores surprising to you?
I was surprised at how close the Seattle game was.
Otherwise, no, because you went 5-0.
Exactly. I'm trying to think if I was like, did I think anyone would like get blown out? I think the Mystics score is a little embarrassing for the Mercury. Is that too harsh to say?
They're all over the place. I don't think they're embarrassed by one thing and the next. I think they just keep it moving. They're like, lost that one by 20. Let's go get the next one, girlies.
And they did.
They
so
sure did.
That.
I was a little shocked that Connecticut blew out Atlanta, but I think Atlanta has a lot of injuries right now, so that made a little bit. Erica Wheeler's out. I was just looking at their injury report, and Erica Wheeler's out. Kia Vaughn, Nia Coffey's questionable, and then I think another starter. So Connecticut's good though.
Connecticut's really good.
They've been highlighting Dejanay Carrington's outfits on the gram. Girl, I had 2 friends separately that do not know each other send me the same photo, say she's everything. I said I agree. Dejanay and all her opinions about the Seattle broadcasting folk.
Which I did listen to.
Oh, and do you share? They're supposed to be biased, and we will start with that assessment.
What I will say is that if I was casually watching the game, say like cooking while watching the game, I wouldn't know there was another team on the court. it was like exclusively Storm. I was like, well, who they playing? Is there anybody did anyone make a shot, get a block, anything happening on the other side? It's pretty,
okay.
It's pretty Storm heavy.
All right. That makes a lot of sense. Was this this was TV or this was radio?
This was watching it through Amazon.
Oh, okay. We are big radio people, so got our own show in case someone's winning.
Oh my God.
Reporting live. Because it's our radio show.
And not yours. Oh, I'm so thankful that we have this opportunity.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so cool we are getting to see the last season. Yeah. They got to win it. They got to win because Stewie's gone.
Stewie is so gone. And
Did
when
you see
she
that
said
story
it
from Kevin Pelton,
I didn't read the whole thing. Was it really good or
it was really good.
You tweeted it.
I thought it was
even
so
in your
good.
tweet, I was like, you really like this article.
I thought that article, it just spelled everything out. And he went in, he was like, if they don't get, he was like, so what does this mean for their future? It directly means that the next point guard is not on this team. Brianne January is the backup. She's retiring. Sue's retiring. No tea, no shade, but Epiphany Prince is not your starting point guard.
Of course not.
They didn't draft anybody. They have no prospects. Where's the next point guard coming from? And so he posed that maybe it's Courtney Vandersloot or Kelsey Plum. And he goes, because those are the free agents, the big names free agents that make a lot of sense. After that, the next tier girls really falls off the map. Kevin, say what your chest.
Dang.
I liked it though.
No lies were told, right?
Nope. He was like Natasha Heidemann. It's not Kelsey Plum or Courtney.
Yeah. Who would you most want to see? Okay. Who would you most want to see? Who do you think is most likely? And do you think there's anyone? Is he missing anyone else? Yes, it's a huge drop off. Those are like top level. Can we get a really good?
I definitely think so. I think Vandersloot would fit in really well. She only signed a 1-year deal for Chicago.
Okay.
That would be my top choice. I don't see Kelsey Plum. I feel like she likes Vegas in that team.
That's interesting because I don't see Vandersloot only because her spouse is there. She's getting older. Her spouse is on the same team, and it's that kind of throws up I don't know.
So in Kevin Pelton's reporting, I didn't know all these things. I was like, thank God I read this.
Look at these great reporters.
Look at all the information he dug up by asking questions probably. Gabby Williams has announced that she's signing with the French national team.
I saw that on her Instagram.
And the new way the new CBA is set up is you can't come late. If you come late, you're not playing.
Correct.
That to me says she's not playing in the WNBA next year. His article said this. It was so they're missing 2 players in those 2. There's questions about Mercedes Russell's health. Who, did you see the thing? They're she's going back for ongoing migraines is what they've announced. It's a non-basketball related injury. It's ongoing migraines. They sent her back to Seattle and she's been here getting tested.
Dang.
So that made a lot of sense because they were we trust, we just said her process. It's you can't actually see that if someone's going through that. That must be frustrating. Gabby Williams signed that contract, so it was who knows that those girls that played in the French national team just got to the WNBA teams this week. So there's no way she would play if her team was good. Brianna Stewart in the same story also was one of the reasons she signed a 1-year deal is because she makes so much more money overseas and she enjoys playing overseas. And so she's that definitely is going to factor into if I'm playing in the WNBA in the future. So there's a really real world where Brianna Stewart leaves Seattle, plays overseas, and is not in the W, which Diana did that for a little bit. But I was that's the starting 5. Joel Lloyd and
nobody.
Yeah. Joel and Ezzy.
Yeah, Joel and Ezzy.
So it was if that were to happen, they are going to have a ton of money. Maybe they would have to go. That's a lot. Wow. And then that's crazy that they signed Gabby to a deal. Good for her for going to play the French national team.
Absolutely.
I kind of hate this new role. I
really hate this new role.
But I hate that we're not going to get to see these people playing in the W if that is what it comes down to.
That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because I get from their business standpoint of we want to, I think it's called prioritization. They want to prioritize the WNBA. You must be here. But you don't hold the money. You don't hold the most money. So you're asking people to make a really hard choice about finances, and they're going to choose finances because this is, for professional athletes, this is how they will earn likely the most amount of money. Like even if it leads to sponsorships, they have to produce on the court in order to get the sponsorships. So why would they choose the W when overseas pays more? That just doesn't. Oh man!
And if you're a player like Brianna Stewart, it makes a lot of sense because you're already a well-known name in the U.S. Like you go over there and make your bags, and you still get good money here. Like she would still be, I would imagine, the face of all the brands she's the face of, even if she's not playing in the W, because she's just so recognizable. And then I feel like she would probably do some cool shit. Come over here when the W's playing, just pop around some games. I don't know. I like to think that maybe she'd be in off season.
Oh no, that's not good for the W.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, that article really made me be like, what is this team going to look like next year? Let's win it this year.
So do you think that Seattle can? Will win it this year?
This to me.
1, 2, 3. No.
Yeah. If only because I feel the way you phrased it, it's the question I said to myself is, would I bet on Seattle versus the field? And I wouldn't. Like, there's multiple teams. There's ways for them to get an easier path. You know, the season's barely a third of the way through, a third of the way through.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that could change, a lot that could happen. But right now, I feel like we'll play Connecticut tonight. Let's see. But
That's
feels
a huge
like
test.
Aces, Connecticut, and we're like right at the top of that next tier.
Sure, yeah.
But we'll see. There's a lot that could change.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think, obviously I said no, I don't think that they will win if I had to choose today. Like, obviously they get rolling like, hey, things change and da-da-da. But I think the bench is the most concerning thing. And I don't think we score enough.
I was, as you were saying that, I was like, imagine us versus the Aces. And I was like, well, Asia will help mitigate how great Ezzy is on defense. And that helps us a lot. She's really great on defense. And then I keep going back to the first couple games when I think it was Sue or Joel or Stewie was like, we know we're a second half team because we're in better shape than everyone and we will get up and down the court. And all tea, all shade. I look at Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young and I'm like, you're not beating them up and down the court the whole game. Like, they've made it known.
Prove it.
They're running. They're like, good luck.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm taking, if I had to bet right now, I would say Aces. If like, will Aces win this year? I would say yes, they could beat the field.
Agreed. They're definitely the front runners.
That was alarming to me. This is where I keep being like, yay, we won a third game in a row. Barely scratched it out versus Minnesota. A win is a win. We didn't have Sue also and Mercedes. This team relies on Sue a lot, or it's just.
They do, but they shouldn't. And it's even like on paper, they shouldn't. Like, yes, Sue is amazing. We all know that. But the numbers wise, she's not giving like that much that in her absence, we should have beat Minnesota by significantly more than we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. A win is a win. I feel like where you see Sue's absence, that's a great point. Like the statistics maybe don't show it, but I think how she navigates the offense and puts people in their places, it's like it's an on-court coach. So the team just runs smoother. I think those end-of-game scenarios, I think they can just flow offensively more than that. But me don't know. That, man, that game.
That was a nail-biter against the Lynx without Sylvia.
Who was scoring for them? Ariel Powers?
Yeah.
I feel like I want to look that up.
And what's her name? Kayla McBride?
Oh, she was hooping?
Yeah. Okay. It was like right towards the end. I felt like she was really showing out.
I like her.
Agreed.
I wish she was on a team I rooted for.
Also agreed.
McBride had 20. Powers had 10. Milich had 11. Shepard had 12. Kayla McBride had 20 of them things. She was 9 of 15 from the field. Efficient. I like her as a shooter. Come to Seattle. What are y'all doing over there in Minnesota?
What's your contract do? I gotta tell you, I'm shooketh because the news that you just rolled out from this great article is just like your team may be in jeopardy. Like, I have lots of questions for the GM that I'm sure she won't answer.
I think that's why I was like, Kevin, you did this, because I started out just like, what a lovely, give Sue her roses for this retirement. oh, we don't have a team next year. Wait a second, 2 players? That's it? That's all we got on contract? That felt alarming. There's more than 2 players on contract.
Sure. But as far as like
more,
I was even gonna say like stars or like impact players.
Rashonda Gray
is not an impact player. She is a role player, and she knows that. And that's what she's doing her role well.
Know. Rashonda Hive is dead in this house.
I saw a great little prompt on Twitter that asked, "Who is the WNBA's Draymond Green?" By that, it's somebody who
sends nudes.
Why are you like this? Somebody who doesn't contribute a lot on offense, but gives you a lot more. Is just giving you. Does that make sense?
The intangibles are there. Maybe the stats ain't.
Exactly.
It's there in all the other things.
Yeah, they're just doing a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet a whole lot.
I want to think about every starting player in this league. Is how I feel like going through this.
Well, I was really happy to see as I was scanning down the Twitter that a lot of people were giving Gabby Williams some love. And I was like, yeah, because of course I feel like, well, duh, I'm going to say that because I get to see her a lot. But, we watch a good bit of games, and I think she's definitely someone who doesn't have a lot of points to show, but she's doing a lot. And I like what she's doing.
Agree and disagree. I think
Leave.
I think like the stats thing, but I feel like her impact on the game isn't as... I think I'm thinking like whose attitude and gameplay match. And I feel like she will go about the game and you'll look at it afterwards and be like, oh, she has 8 of every statistic. And so she does. I'm not saying she doesn't give you all that, but I think my mind went to like, who is that player that's also talking a lot, not smack, but I feel like he's such an energy player for his team. Like comes in and is helping navigate people. And so what people are always talking about also is just like, dang, he's doing the most.
Okay, so correct. That is not how the tweet asked. It wasn't like who's doing the most. Because I just don't think the WNBA has a player comparable. Like, I don't think there's a lot of like crap talkers that we see. I think the players probably know, could tell you something a little differently.
Ariel Power, sit down. We'll get to you in a moment. Do not jump through the screen, honey.
Or like a Pat Bev. Like, I don't think the WNBA has players who are that vocal and annoying. I think it was
okay, I'm gonna get a little list going.
Oh, okay.
Breonna Turner from Phoenix. She's great defensively. She kind of backs up somebody, so she's not even the star at her position. Okay. She's like the star behind Tina, behind Brittany. She's a great rebounder. She's not flashy. They will give it to her around the basket. She's never looking for her own shot because she has none of that ability from outside the range. She knows her skills like Draymond, and she can help do other things. She's a great passer. I'm going to go with Breonna Turner.
That was quite a compliment.
Did I read?
The library is open.
She's a multiple time.
Don't try and fix it now. Okay, I'd have to check her numbers. I feel like she has good numbers. So let me know that I'm wrong. Courtney Williams.
Oh, I was about to say Alyssa Thomas is my second one. Why Courtney Williams?
I feel like she has the attitude that I'm thinking about, of someone who's just like defensively, like, I mean, we saw her play it here. She just gives that vibe of like, man, you're probably naggy on defense. Like I would be like, fuck, I have to play against Courtney. Like, that's the vibe that I get when I watch her play of like, I want you to be on my team, not the other team, because that works well if you're on my team, but if you're on the other team, it's really, really frustrating.
It's the nagging for you.
Yeah, the nagging defense. That's a compliment.
It is. I can see that one.
But are her numbers too good?
I love how we're saying her numbers too good to be a Draymond. I was gonna say Alyssa Thomas, and I'm like, her numbers are she scores way more points than him. She got to, but she has 2 broken shoulders, so she can't shoot. So in that way, she is like Draymond, but she gets a lot of points because getting to the free throw line. She's a machine down low because she can guard so many different players.
It doesn't mean you're not getting no numbers.
So we're going with a Connecticut Suns roster as Draymond Green. Cool. 5 deep, Connecticut Sun, Draymond Green. But man, thinking of like, oh, we're really getting into our next generation because this generation's retiring. Mm-hmm. I mean, we knew that. I think just when they become so real like this, I was like, oh my gosh, the moments you think about the Olympic teams, Sue and Sylvia, Diana. I mean, Brianne January's been incredible. She's been on championship teams. It's just like, oh, these great players all time. When Candace leaves, I'll be a wreck.
Inconsolable. So the 30 for 30, have you watched it? Any of it?
No, is it good?
I haven't watched it either.
Oh,
I have it like
marked.
We should definitely watch it. So the 30 for 30 Dream On, haven't watched it, but it makes me think of those players who like established it. And so this is the next generation who graduated from college and then came into the WNBA, and it's like, wow, we're now watching them like end their careers, and that's just really cool. It's really, really cool.
Cool but sad.
I imagine how people felt when Lisa retired. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I got to see her, and just real sad. Yeah.
In the same note, I think that teams will be really wanting to be like, we're the team that beat Sue Bird out. And I'm not even joking. I think you just... What do
you mean?
They, like, in the playoffs, everyone's going to be playing Seattle. You're already like, this is Stewie, Joel, whatever. But I think it... remember, like, Coach K is making this run through the Final Four, and at the beginning of every game, it's, could this be his last game? I think teams will get hyped for that. Like, let's end Sue Bird's career tonight in Connecticut. Let's end it where it began. I don't know.
Pick 'em.
We have Seattle versus Connecticut. Oh, who you got? 1, 2, 3.
Sun.
Seattle.
I said what I said.
We have Phoenix versus Dallas. 1, 2, 3. Dallas.
Okay, we're gonna say city.
Okay. Atlanta versus Chicago. 1, 2, 3.
Chicago.
Chicago. We have 5 games on Sunday. They are spread out at least by an hour. Some of them 2. First game.
It's getting better.
Seattle versus New York. 1, 2, 3.
Storm.
The Sun versus the Mystics. 1, 2, 3.
Sun.
The Sky versus the Fever. 1, 2, 3.
Sky.
Sparks versus Wings. 1, 2, 3.
Wings. I
Oh
want to
my
say.
gosh.
I really want to say LA. What is their record?
It's 5-8, and Dallas is 6-8.
I just feel like that's gonna be an upset. Like I feel like they like
Do
the
it.
Sparks are. I'm gonna say it. I'm changing it. I'm gonna say the Sparks are gonna win that game.
I love it. Okay, and then Minnesota versus Aces. 1, 2, 3 Aces. Thank you.
Yeah. So for this week's Fight Me, we will be doing problematic pride song.
I got mine locked and loaded.
Let's hear it.
Cool for the summer. Demi Lovato. It's problematic because Demi Lovato sings it, and I feel like she is she's like all the rest of us humans, just trying to make it. Let's put it that way. And Cool for the Summer just gives me my lesbian fantasy, honey. I'm gonna say it. I will sit by the pool, drink out of a funny little glass with
Boobies on it or something.
booby or like an umbrella, and Cool for the Summer. You can't tell me I will dance so hard to that song out of the shower.
I love how we went from poolside to shower. That was good.
Those are the only places I listen to music.
I am going to say, I kissed the girl I liked.
Big lesbian energy on our radio.
Yeah, that's my problematic pride song. I feel like that's one that the gays love, and then you stop and you're like, this is a straight woman talking about the one time she kissed a girl. This really ain't it, y'all. This is not our anthem.
Taste of her cherry chapstick? How old is that girl you're kissing? That's what my question is.
Problematic.
Were we at a 90s party? Circuit party? I have so many questions. What if we need to see Katy Perry and Demi Lovato remake and combine both of those songs?
Like a Glee mashup type style vibe.
You know what I think they could lay over the top? Followers, lay these songs over the top one of another.
And find the difference because they're probably the same song.
Yeah. And we will dance in the next video. Okay, that was a good one. Problematic. Yeah. And as this month is Pride Month, please stream Kiss a Girl and I Liked It on Spotify.
Trending.
Let's get Katy Perry trending.
Anything else for this week? Feel good?
Feel great.
For Balance Sports, I'm Jewelz.
I'm Hunter. Did you see Beyonce is going to be releasing new stuff?
Look at Sue trying to steal the spotlight from the NBA Finals, and I love it. Like, this will be your last opportunity to see me because y'all sure ain't gonna get there, and we may not get there.
The timing was very suspicious. Not suspicious isn't the word. The timing.
Do.
Yeah, I wasn't.